ladies. Welcome.
Hello.
What a great group of women.
Woohoo.
I do love Women Talk. Women Talk gave me the opportunity to begin to speak and helped me to hone my message, and so I love all that Women Talk stands for. So my talk tonight is open your heart to loving again. How many of you love the story Cinderella, the fairy tale when they were young? I loved it too. I personally think it's a very damaging message to give to young girls. And I'll tell you why as we go along. I believed in Prince Charming. And I met my Prince Charming and thought that his job was to make me happy. So I met him at 16, married him at 18. And there were some patterns there that were in the beginning that I, being an 18-year-old, I didn't understand. He was often silent, withdrawn, moody. That's okay. I can fix that. Once we get married, it'll be just fine. And how many of you thought that? So we married, and those patterns didn't go away. As a matter of fact, as you well know, as you build careers and buy houses and have children, those patterns can become even worse. This is a new talk, so I've got my notes. I hope you don't mind. So I didn't understand what was causing this disconnection between us, why he always seemed to be away working or away doing things and not us together. And I often felt not enough, not good enough, and powerless to change the situation. I didn't understand why that was. So I looked for answers, and I looked for answers everywhere. I read stacks of self-help books, I took workshops, I read marriage manuals. I then went for counseling. And yet I was unable to engage my husband, at least the way I needed. So what happens to relationships when you can't figure them out? They become very stressful. You lose your self-confidence, you lose your self-worth, and your self-esteem. What we do in retaliation of that is we make them the problem. They're the problem. If they weren't just like that, I would have a happy life. At least that's what I thought. After 35 years of struggle, and it wasn't just me struggling, it was him too. There was a lot of stress in our relationship. I finally gave up and I left. And as I left, I found the Enneagram personalities. And I found the answer to what had happened between two great people with the same morals, the same values. Here's what I discovered. If you haven't heard about the Enneagram, it's a well-known, well-respected personality model, and it gives you very specific information. It's like a blueprint to understanding yourself and understanding the other person. So here's what I came to understand. I'm a 2 supporter personality. I need connection. I need close connection. He is a 9 peace seeker. So I was very intent and intense on this relationship. And the more he pulled away, the more intense I got. For him, my intensity felt controlling. So he would withdraw to maintain his identity. I would see that as rejection. My personality patterns were too strong for him. He felt I was intrusive. Instead of being able to speak up, his personality type is not good at that. Passive aggressiveness and avoiding conflict at all costs is a major trait of the peace seeker. So we did that dance for 35 years, blindfolded, unconscious, and unaware of what it was. And so, as I mentioned, after 35 years, I left that marriage. I am now passionate about translating and interpreting personality traits between couples, for singles, and workplace, families. It is my passion, it is my purpose, and it is my path. Recently, I've been doing some more work. I have discovered, why is it that our princes don't teach us or treat us like princesses. Why do you think that is? There's some very interesting research on this. I've been coaching quite a few men lately. I coach women, but I've been coaching quite a few men. And I'll tell you, their hearts hurt as much as ours. They are confused. They don't know what they're supposed to be doing, and I'm not surprised. Because women, we have taken over the man's role. We can do it as good as they can. We can work as hard. We can show up. And I believe we've lost our femininity. And I believe men don't know what their role is anymore. Men want to protect and provide. We've told them we don't need them to do that anymore. So how do we form that bond for loving, for connection? It may seem like I'm defending the other side, but my research actually shows that when we do learn how to talk to them, how to appreciate them and respect them, they are looking to love us. They are looking to serve us. They are looking to treat us like princesses. Generationally, nobody has been taught to be loving. How to be loving. We've taught survival. That's what we've been doing. And I believe that we have now come to the point of evolution where women, we can change this. We can change the patterns. We can create the love. We can create the connection. Because of the frustrations for women, what we do is we pile up the resentments. We have a memory forever. So we pile up the frustrations and the hurts and the resentments, and we shut our heart down. And for single women, if your heart's been shut down and you're out there looking for a partner, that's hard to connect. It's hard for them to connect with us. I want to share a little story with you. I was in a coffee shop just a while back, and there was a lady in her, I'd say, mid-70s, and resentment was just coming off her. Like you could just feel it, and it was palpable. And she sat down and she had a dish of food, and along comes her husband. He's like tiptoeing, he slides into the chair. And she reaches over and she takes her food and she puts some of it on his plate. Now, ordinarily, you would think that's a very loving gesture. It didn't look like a loving gesture. It looked like a habit. It looked like a pattern that they were in, and probably will be in for all of their life. And it's sad, because I'm sure they love each other. They just don't know how to love each other, to open their hearts again to each other. So if you're willing, I'd like to take you on a little meditation. It will only take a couple minutes. If you would just sit back in your chairs, I'd like you to take a couple deep breaths. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Deep breath in, deep breath out. And now I'd like you, if you're willing to, take and put your hand on your heart. Keep your eyes closed. Keep your hand on your heart. I want you to focus on it without judgment. See if your heart is open. Is it open to receiving? Is it closed? Has it been hurt? And then I want you to focus on the space behind your heart. I want you to see it beating, vibrant red, glowing, pulsating love, because there's love there. Now I want you to picture in front of you your husband, your partner, a past partner. Can you see how they're too yearning for love, for connection? And I'd like you to say these 3 statements to yourself directed at them. May you find peace. May you feel love. May all good things come to you. And now I want you to promise your heart that you're going to be open to receiving and giving love. And in the next week or so, as you open conversations with others, pause a moment, connect with your heart, and then talk to them. And see the shift, see the change. Because all of us are looking for love and connection. You can open your eyes. Women, we are the feminine presence. We have come to the evolution of our lives. I believe we were put on earth to teach, to love, to give and share love. We were meant to open our hearts. And with that, we can change the world. We can teach our princess to teach us to be princesses, and teach our sons to be princesses, and princes who love princesses. Thank you very much.